The old passenger train rumbled along the tracks, slicing through the darkness of the night. Its iron wheels screeched against the rails, adding an eerie symphony to the eerie atmosphere. The compartments were dimly lit, casting long shadows that danced on the worn-out seats. A handful of passengers occupied the train, each immersed in their own thoughts or trying to distract themselves from the desolate surroundings. But little did they know that this would be a journey they would never forget. As the train sped through a remote countryside, it abruptly came to a halt, causing everyone to jolt forward. The lights flickered, threatening to plunge them into darkness. A shiver ran down their spines as a thick mist engulfed the windows, obscuring their view of the outside world. Confusion and whispers spread among the passengers. Anxious faces turned to one another, searching for answers. But before they could react, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the compartments, piercing the night like a sharp blade. The sound seemed to come from one of the rear cars. Fear gripped their hearts as they cautiously made their way towards the source of the chilling cry. With every step, the air grew colder, and a sense of dread tightened its grip around them. The dim lights flickered with increasing intensity, casting eerie shadows that seemed to twist and contort. As they approached the rear cars, the passengers were met with an unsettling sight. The door to one compartment stood ajar, creaking ominously as if beckoning them closer. Reluctantly, they peered inside and gasped in horror. The compartment was completely empty, except for a single, worn-out suitcase. It lay open, revealing a jumble of tattered clothes and personal belongings. But what caught their attention was a faded photograph resting on top. It depicted a group of people with hauntingly familiar faces, as if from a distant memory. Before they could ponder the significance of the photograph, the train jolted back to life, continuing its journey with renewed vigor. Panic swept through the passengers as they realized they were no longer in control of their destination. The train hurtled forward, faster and faster, as if possessed by an unseen force. Suddenly, the lights went out, plunging them into pitch-black darkness. Whispers and cries filled the air, drowned out only by the deafening sound of screeching metal and the train's thunderous roar. It felt as though the train had been transported to another realm, a realm of nightmares. In the midst of the chaos, a faint voice emerged, barely audible above the cacophony. It whispered a name that sent chills down their spines. It was the name of the person in the photograph. As the train hurtled through the night, the passengers became aware of a haunting presence surrounding them. The cold mist that had filled the compartments transformed into skeletal hands that clawed at their flesh. They screamed in agony, desperately trying to escape the clutches of the unseen forces. And then, just as abruptly as it had begun, the nightmare came to an end. The train screeched to a halt, its doors opening to reveal the safety of a brightly lit station platform. The passengers stumbled out, their bodies trembling and minds scarred by the horrors they had witnessed. But even as they stepped onto solid ground, a lingering fear remained, a fear that the memory of that night on the passenger train would forever haunt their dreams, reminding them that some terrors can never truly be escaped.